Welcome to Coin Jive. And I was thinking, the zombies are coming. No, seriously. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about prions. Prions are a misfolded protein that mimics being alive, and it generally migrates to the brain and eats big holes in the brain and turns animals and people into zombies. Well, that's pretty unusual. Does that really exist? In fact, it does. That is the cause of mad cow disease and zombie deer disease. Those are prion diseases, and the technical name is spongiform encephalopathy. These prions, they are not bacteria, they're not fungus, they're not a parasite exactly. They are just chains of amino acids called proteins. But the problem is that for some reason they are folded improperly. And proteins often fold improperly, and those are called amyloids. And lots of people have amyloids in their body, but their immune system typically destroys them. But in some people, these amyloids kind of pool into clumps and form what are called plaques. And when they form in the brain, these amyloid plaques can cause things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. But sometimes these amyloids, which are not considered to be what scientists call infective or infectious, they are just these inert misfolded proteins that just accumulate in various organs in the body. And that causes serious problems in itself. But when one of these proteins misfolds in a particular way, then it forms a prion. And these prions are infective or infectious in the sense that what they do is they mimic being alive. They mimic a parasite, even though they're just a chain of amino acids. They act like they're a living organism, and they go around and they cause other proteins to misform into prions. And it's kind of like these prions are zombies going around, figuratively or metaphorically biting other proteins and causing them to turn into zombie prions. And it's almost like these prions circulating through the body are like these little zombies going around biting all these other proteins and turning them into little zombies too. And then eventually these little prion zombies make their way into the brain of the cow or the deer or even the human and start eating the brain and turn the human or the cow or the deer into a zombie. And these prion diseases, we hear about them mostly in cows and deer lately, but they do exist in humans as well. One example is called CJD, and it's a fatal prion disease. All of these prion diseases are fatal. There's also familial fatal insomnia. That is also a prion disease in humans. And there's Kuru, which is a prion disease in humans. And there are a few, but not a lot, of human prion diseases, but they are devastating. And so why is this interesting? It's interesting because there are some new scientific studies that say that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein is amyloidogenic, which means that it could possibly cause proteins in the body to misfold into amyloids. And that's concerning enough because amyloids, cause damage like um, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and whatnot. But what's even more concerning is that sometimes these amyloids will misfold into prions. And so we don't know if that's going to happen. We're not even 100% sure that the spike protein is amyloidogenic, but that's a very scary thought. And so we're kind of waiting to see what the science says on this. And however it turns out, just an endless supply of circulating spike protein in your body is not a good idea, I would imagine. So, this whole spike protein issue is something that needs some attention, and it is getting attention. We have done an article over at thecoinblog.com about this subject, and I hope that you go over there and read it because it is full of very interesting information. And since you might be turning into a zombie, maybe you should read about it. Well, that's what I was thinking. And I hope you join us next time we have something on our mind here at CoinJive.